Alex，我哋咧好特別喎，今日嚟到一個咧係香檳區。點解咁特別咧？香檳區？
香檳區咧就係顧名思義咧，就係所有喺度產嘅葡萄酒，即係 sparkling wine 咧，先至可以稱之為香檳。呢個係嚴格規定，都係法律規定㗎。
哦，法律規定即係喺法國製造嘅香檳，就一定係指定喺呢個 Reims 呢個區。
係啦，喺呢個香檳大區。
哦，先至可以叫香檳，
冇錯
其他咧只可以叫 sparkling wine 嘅啫。
冇錯冇錯，因為西班牙啊、意大利啊都有葡萄汽酒㗎嘛，咁所以依度嘅地方先至叫做 champagne。
哦，我而家長知識啦，原來咧就係其他地方產嘅有氣嘅酒咧就叫做葡萄汽酒，
係冇錯，
即係汽酒。係啦。而呢度法國呢個 Reims 香檳區產嘅，先至叫香檳。
冇錯冇錯。
所以唔好一見到有合譜咧就叫香檳。
係啊。
No no no。
係唔啱嘅。
係唔啱嘅嚇。咁所以我哋嘅真正咧嚟到呢個香檳區咧，就去睇呢個嘅製造香檳嘅地方。係。咁啊係好特別嘅。我哋今次呢個旅程咧係會令到大家咧係覺得好特別啦。好似去咗呢個遊樂場咁啊！係啊，
佢入邊個 tour 咧可以坐個小火車咧喺佢個地窖嗰度咧轉，差唔多有成15分鐘嗰個 tour。
係啊，咁啊嗱，我哋而家呢度咧就嗱呢個環境就係咁樣啦嚇，咁啊又係而家嘅即係天氣好靚啦。嗱咁我哋就攞翻少少嘢先嚇，咁啊攞翻啲少嘢咧就入去啊睇睇呢個門口啦。我哋而家又入去。
你睇下1958年已經存在嘅釀酒香檳廠啊！
係啦，嗱呢個咧就係佢嘅品牌嚇，叫做
Mercier
咁樣。好，咁我哋入去睇下先。
係好。
咁啊，等阿 Alex 帶我哋入去睇。
好啊，嚟入嚟睇睇。
呢度咧有個大嘅 barrel， 哇！大家你見唔見到呢個？唔係一個牌嚟嘅喎，其實咧呢一個咧。係一個咧 barrel 啦，即係一個大嘅桶嚟㗎嚇。
呢個桶咧可以坐到20噸啊，應該係20噸。
有20噸咁多
嘅酒喺度啊，可以釀。
係啊，同埋咧話咧呢個 cellar 咧，我哋一陣間去咧，嗰度會有成10層樓咁深啊嚇。係咁深嘅地。係啊，咁深嘅地方，咁咧裏邊亦都係好大，有好多里啊嚇，好多公里咁樣咁大嘅入邊。咁啊，好多工人喺入邊做緊嘢啦。咁啊，原來製造香檳一啲都唔簡單啊！
唔簡單㗎，係啊。係
啊，咁呢個咧 barrel 好大。咁啊，佢呢度嘅酒廠咧都好靚啊，個設計。好靚係。俾大家望下呢個環境啦。咁啊，佢每一年都有好多人咧係特登過嚟香檳區度即係參觀同埋買酒㗎喎。係啊，呢個當然啦，因為始終呢度係佢哋嗰個原產啊，即係香檳嘅原產，亦都係唯一可以稱之為香檳嘅地方。係啦，咁大家見到咧，呢個1889年啊，就由嗰陣時開始就製造香檳。簡單嚇。咁呢個咧就係佢哋嘅名啦。嗰陣時係真係有用嘅喎嚇，話俾大家聽呢個。咁但係依家咧就係冇咁大個桶啦嚇。以前係真係有用途嘅，依家就成為咗博物，即係一個歷史啦嚇。一個歷史啦，俾大家參觀啦嚇。咁啊，上面咧又都有一啲即係可以買到香檳㗎啦。咁我哋都急不及待。已經話我哋喺呢度睇下，呢度其實個模型好特別喎嚇。都可以。咁佢縮細咗嗰個酒桶係咪？咁啊原先嘅酒桶咁大啦，佢酒桶都有碌喎。點解咧？係喎。因為咧佢每日咧以前咧講緊嚇，即係100多年前咧，就讓啲牛咧就拉呢個酒桶咧，就係運入去巴黎市中心。哇！咁啊真係慢慢行喎。真係慢慢行啦。嗱呢個就係個酒桶啦。係。跟住咧，大家見到啲牛啦，真係喎。都唔簡單喎！咁啊，以前冇車、冇工具、冇火車，咁就唯有靠牛啦，一路咁拉佢入去市中心。係啦，咁呢個酒桶咧都有原來一個桶咧有碌嘅喎嚇，呢度有碌。咁啊啲牛仔啦，喺頭先見到啦，咁啊去拉呢個桶。咁啊一隻桶要咁多隻牛去拉，哇！咁啊真係好壯觀喎！好壯觀㗎嚇！會唔會似動物大遷徙咁樣？有咁嘅可能性。咁但係依家就雖然唔使啦，依家當然嚇，依家就見到現代化啦。係啦，現代化啦，哇係都唔簡單。好啦，咁我哋咧急不及待，好快啲咧入去睇下。好，入去參觀。係啦，同埋咧即係呢個城市咧係特別靚。冇錯冇錯。其實咧我哋沿途經過咧都哇好想即係多啲時間欣賞，不過我哋趕咗嚟呢度先，有時間先再大介紹。因為呢度都要約好時間。係啦，有時間咧先介紹呢個 Reims 呢個地方。記住啦，呢個地方咧係 係 license 做出香檳嘅，
係
其他地方出嘅香檳你就唔係香檳嚟㗎啦。
係啊，冇錯。
Sparkling wine，OK，好 ，Alex，咁我哋轉頭見。
好 ，OK。
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed so far and that now you are ready for the tasting. So the first champagne I'd like to present to you is the traditional Brut. This is the one that best represents our style and this is also our best seller. For this champagne, it's a traditional blending of the three main grape varieties that you may find in Champagne area. You have 45% Pinot Noir for the structure, 40% Meunier for the roundness and the fruitiness, and 15% Chardonnay for the touch of freshness and vivacity. The champagne is a brut, and brut means between 6 and 12 grams of sugar per liter. Here, it's 9, so right in the middle. It is also quite a young champagne, 2 years of maturation. That's why it's going to be a really fruity one. And when I say fruity, I mean pear and apple. Also, this champagne is a non-vintage champagne. That means we blend several years of harvest, so you can have the same quality year after year. So basically, if you're trying this champagne today and you're coming back in 10 years, it should be the same champagne, exactly the same, but from different grapes. So thank you very much for your attention, ladies and gentlemen, and you can now help yourselves.
自己嚟咯，自己嚟啦，我都要食先，有冇人要？嚟，
Look at the bubbles，
好，俾你聞下。
好靚，不停咁樣，
不停係咁上，
不停係咁上，哇，好特別。而家咧就要試呢個 champagne 啦。係啊，哇，嗰啲 bubbles 咧，好特別啊，真係。試一試先。哇，好犀利！飲啖先。
試下啦。
哇！飲杯。
飲杯。
哇！真係好味啊！
確實係㗎，香檳好 fresh 啊，飲落去好新鮮。
好 fresh。係。啊，好點樣講啊？好容易入口。好容易入口，
香檳入，但係小心啲喎，飲香檳亦都容易醉㗎，易入口。
真係好入口，同埋好好飲，有少少氣。佢又唔係好甜，但係好清。
冇錯。
個味道好清，好清。
係確實好清嘅。
啊！仲有啊！呢 bubbles。
係。依家佢另外嗰隻咧，你睇下係大黃少少喎，你望下另外嗰邊。
係。我睇下先。嗱，呢杯係我㗎。係 OK。另外再試一杯係嘛？
要再試啦。好啊。
呢個。大家睇下呢一隻咧，係個顏色黃少少，
金黃少少，我相信相對甜身少少。
Second champagne you're about to drink, it's our vintage is 2002. So for this one, it's 20 years of maturation. That is huge compared to the first one. It's only 2 years of maturation. 20 is really something different. You can already see in the color. It's very good color. It's going to be a very complex champagne. This one. We changed the blend totally. For this one, there is 45% Chardonnay, 35% Pinot Noir, and 20% Meunier. So the Chardonnay is going to bring the notes of butter that you're going to smell on the palate. It's going to be very buttery and oily. And also everything like brioche or past meals like. For the Pinot Noir, it's going to bring the torrefaction notes. So on the nose, you're going to smell like toasted bread, also some nuts, some almonds. You will see there is a very, very long finish, and that is all due to the maturation time. Also for the champagne, there is more bubbles, but smaller one. And of course, this is also due to maturation time. For this one, it's very good to go with a very old cheese. Comté, for instance, old Comté, it's perfect with this one. So you can help yourself for people that don't have a
咁呢個咧，聽佢介紹咧，
哇！呢個仲好。
配下一個比較濃味嘅芝士喎。
係啊。佢話頭先我試咧就2年，呢個係20年。
20年啊，係。
好味啊！
相當唔錯，係果然係有好大分別啦。
好味啊！
香檳都係一種學問啊。
哇！真係 I love it. It's so good. Your favorite too? Oh my goodness, so good. 哇！ 哇！真係好好飲。我唔識飲酒咧，而家都識啦。
阿婉華呢次飲到已經好似變酒仙咁啦，係嘛？
係啊，我走先。
走先。
你就走先。你就走先。
走先。
我走先嚇。OK， 飲杯啦。
飲杯，多謝婉華。
哇！真係。
嗰個酒年輕啲，呢個酒老啲。
係20年啊嘛。香檳嘅酒樽咧，可以分咁多唔同嘅 size 喎，你睇下，係嘛？哇！可以去到咁大樽啊！72，
我要20年嗰啲72。好㗎。
送禮物啦！嗱，年紀最大嘅就係2002年啦，跟住就有2006年，呢個亦都有2010年。呢度就係佢哋嘅葡萄園啦，咁啊相當之大嘅地方。呢一度咧，基本上大部分嘅地啊都係種葡萄啊，係咪啊？
大部分係種葡萄啊，始終呢個香檳區咧，佢所有嘅農耕都係以葡萄為主嘅。
係咪啊？
嗯。
葡萄為主係啦，咁仲有好靚喎呢個地方其實。
其實靚㗎 ，Reims 咧，我哋將佢譯做蘭斯啊，中文。係。咁呢個地方咧，亦都係香檳區嘅首府啦。所以呢度盛產香檳咧，相當有名。咁亦都係咧，佢哋嗰度咧係規定所有嘅要產有 bubble 即係 sparkling wine 嘅酒咧，如果喺呢度出產嘅，先至能夠稱為香檳咯。係，
哇！呢度真係〜唔錯，嗰個感覺咧係好靚啊，
舒服啊，
係啊，嗰個地勢啊，
係，
亦都好似係好多種植嘅即係葡萄嘅地方啦，咁同埋都係好多唔同嘅品牌嚇，會喺度進駐嘅，係啦。原來以為好多層，原來係得一層。我仲以為落得好深，哇！真係好似去咗環球片場咁樣喎。好啦，我哋而家又再繼續入去啦。哇！喺呢度好似個 wine cellar 咁樣，入邊一個地洞咁啊。嗱，我哋有 train。
係咪坐前面好啲咧？
好啊，好啊，坐前面。我哋坐前面，相當神秘啊！
係啊，呢個係嗰個香檳嘅酒莊。咁佢個品牌嘅名字叫 Max。
好啊！哇，正話咧喺個 lift 落嚟嚇，而家就去隧道啦。
係個 Max 嘅香檳咧，就叫公司名，即係個品牌咁樣，做得幾好嘅。我哋先落個電梯嚟，因為坐一個小火車，可以經過佢嘅酒窖，咁酒窖可以見到兩旁咧都放滿咧一啲香檳嘅酒樽啦。香檳酒樽，咁你會見到佢同做呢個紅酒咧係有分別，係咪？佢啲酒樽全部係個酒瓶，即係酒瓶咧係調轉香檳去下邊，因為咧將佢嗰啲 酵母糖咧就沉澱翻喺嗰度，然之後咧就經過再打佢，打好佢之後咧，然之後將最第一層嗰個酵母咧就搖走，然之後再整多次。哦，sorry。
We are going to explore the immense galleries of our cellars and learn about the heritage, savoir-faire, the different cuvées, and the spirit, very unique of the house. These cellars, aiming for innovation and modernity, were in fact the first cellars dug on a single level in the region. The architect commissioned by Eugène Mercier designed the cellars that was usual until that time, with the low ceilings and stretching over several levels. This made work really laborious. But Eugène Mercier had a new vision. He wanted to make life easier for his workers. So he set the plans, tore them up, took another sheet of paper, drawing several parallel lines, said, "Count by the kilometer and not by the meter." The result was 47 high-ceilinged galleries, all parallel and perpendicular to each other, and of course all numbered because the tunnel stretched over 18 kilometers. Some tunnels communicated with the railway line Paris-Strasbourg to facilitate the dispatching the champagne. These cellars dug in a limestone rock provide three essential conditions for champagne maturation. So, the very high level of humidity, 90%, the constant all-year-round temperature, 10 degrees, and finally, the darkness. It is here that maturation of our champagne takes place under the watchful eye of around 100 experienced cellarmen. On this production site, we are working only with the bottles. The stainless steel valves are in Enquiry, the small village which is not so far away from Epernay. So here we are working on the maturation, riddling, disgorgement, labeling, and the expeditions. At the moment, in our cellars, we have about 20 million bottles. Eugène Mercier wanted the cellars to be spacious, but also beautiful environment for his workers and a bit later for his visitors, which is why he had them decorated with the bas-reliefs. All the bas-reliefs that we will see during this tour are from Gustave Lenablet, the very well-known artist from the region. On your right, you will see the bas-relief which commemorates the visit of Sadi Carnot, the President of France, in 1891. He came to visit the cellars as you are doing today, but instead of laser-guided train, he rode on a carriage drawn by 4 white horses. Now you can take a look above your heads. You can see some large openings that we call essays, which is where the limestone rock were extracted when the cellars were created. Now they are used for the ventilation. Eugène Mercier was proud of his cellars. He wanted to show them off, even if the excavations were not completed. The first cellars in the region allowed the visitors in 1885, and 5 years later, the visits, they were already in a tourism guides. Let's talk about our vineyard. So, our vineyard itself now covers 249 hectares, and it is 50% of our grape needs, with the remaining 50% being bought from another wine growers from the region, of course, because you all know that champagne is an AOC product, which means that it could be produced only here in Reims strictly delimited and regulated zone. Remember, champagne comes only from Champagne. There are 3 main grape varieties needed for champagne making: Pinot Noir and Meunier, the black skin grapes with the white juice, and Chardonnay, the white skin grape with the white juice. The grape picking is carried on usually in September, and it is entirely done by hand, which means hundreds, even thousands, grape pickers each year. As soon as they are picked, the grapes are taken to one of our press houses for the fraction and slow pressing, because we want to obtain all the full aromas and, the most important thing, the white juice from black grapes. The juice that we obtain by pressing the grapes we call must. The must is placed in a stainless steel wax for the very first alcoholic fermentation. The yeast gradually transforms sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. But as the wax are opened, the gas escapes and we initially obtain the still wine with no bubbles for the very first time. After that comes a decisive assemblage stage, which means the blending of different wines. We can blend different wines from different years, different grape varieties, different plots. Each blending results in a cuvée. Each cuvée is now bottled with a small amount of liquor de tirage, which consists yeast and sugar. The bottles are capped with the metal caps and stay in our cool cellars for 15 months minimum for a non-vintage champagne and 3 years minimum for the vintage. On your right you can see the bottles which are with the metal caps, so they are in the maturation process. During this period, the wine obtains its secondary aromas, maturity, complexity. And also the second alcohol fermentation takes place, this time inside the bottle. The gas could no longer escape and we initially obtained the champagne. This is the famous prise de mousse, the birth of champagne. So on your right you can see the transparent bottles. Pay attention to the bottleneck, there is a deposit of yeast inside. So, after second alcoholic fermentation, the yeast forms a deposit. How could we take out of the bottle this imprisoned sediment? We need to do a rilling and disgorgement. For the rilling, the bottles are placed in these wooden racks in a horizontal position at first. The bottle riddler turns the bottle of water upturn each time while increasingly putting it in a vertical position. Like this, the sediment slides down in the bottleneck. We plunge the bottleneck in a freezing bath at -28 in the solution that we call glycol, and we obtain an ice inside the bottleneck. We turn up the bottle, we take out the metal cap and the icy deposit exposed. This is the disgorgement. After, we will add the liquor of dosage, which determines the sweetness of champagne. For the brut, we will add 9 grams of sugar per liter. For the demi-sec, 45 grams of sugar per liter. That's the difference. The bottles are now corked, sealed with a wire, and stay once again few months before being shipped and ultimately drunk. But now let me introduce you to this rather joyful-looking woman. This is Miss Mercier, the muse of the World Fair in 1900. In truth, she was not as successful as Eugène Mercier had hoped for. You have already noticed that our Miss is a bit scantily dressed, holding a glass in one hand and the bottle of champagne into another one. This pose shocked the public despite the euphoria during the Belle Époque. So she was removed from the fair and hidden here in these cellars. But now she is admired by 100,000 visitors each. And it is 1 kilometer long and we are right under the Avenue of Champagne. The city center is in front of us. In Eugène's day, this gallery was the way to his home, the Château de Bécamp. The Château de Bécamp is still here at the end of Avenue of Champagne. And nowadays, it is Champagne Comtesse Lafont, and it is possible to visit the ancient house of family Mercier. So, the legend was that when the workers set off to work, they would say, "We are going to Pekin," meaning to another side of the world, because they couldn't see the end of the gallery. This is also the most beautifully decorated of all our galleries, with a succession of bas-reliefs from Gustave André Nablet. So, here we will see the entrance of our Bacchus cellar, where we hold some magnificent receptions. Just imagine the doors opening and the hunting horns announce your arrival. You are greeted by 2 giant bas-reliefs, and under 11 meters long ceiling, you can feel this very unique atmosphere of this old disgorgement cellar. On the left side, the gyro pallets. So the gyro pallets turn the bottles automatically. So we don't use the wooden racks anymore to do the reeling. We use these gyro pallets. One gyro pallet can turn 500 bottles at once, and the reeling takes about 5 days. To compare with the manual reeling, one reeler can turn 50,000 bottles per day. It's really impressive, but the reeling takes about 1 month. And be sure that there is no impact for the quality of champagne. It's the same.
好啦，最後咧，我哋買咗好多酒喎。
係啊，我都買咗啲20年嘅香檳。係
啦，咁啊，我都買咗禮物啦，咁啊，亦都買咗條圍裙，圍裙咧俾大家睇睇。我就買咗呢一條圍裙嘅。咁啊，因為我日日喺屋企，我嘅即係我嘅服裝啊，制服咧就係圍裙。咁呢個都有係呢個牌子咁樣，幾靚啊！係咯，咁買咗支酒啦，同埋買咗個圍裙啦。咁啊，今日咧我哋其實咧好開心嘅，咁啊，終於買得好開心，咁啊個個都滿載而歸，咁啊成個旅程咧都好特別，咁啊同埋咧我哋落到去一個好深嘅 cave 入邊，而個 cave 入邊咧亦都係非常之大，係啦，所以咧真係好難得嘅經驗嚇，未試過坐火車仔可以係咪可以參觀佢哋嗰個 cellar 嚇製酒嘅地方啦，呢個就係香檳區。咁好啦，咁我哋咧好多謝各位收睇啦，咁我哋咧繼續會有更精彩嘅片段俾大家。咁希望大家咧睇完咧俾個 like 留言同埋 share， 記住 subscribe，OK？ 好啦，咁我哋咧好開心去完呢個嘅Champagne嘅莊園啦。好，咁我哋下次見。
好，下次見。
拜拜。